right, good morning, good morning. Today we have here Elijah Gonzalez from the Fry Scene. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm
Love
doing
to
pretty
see,
good.
love to see. First off, would you like to introduce yourself, say something about the podcast and the reason why we're here?
Yes, so my name is Elijah Gonzalez. I am the owner of the Fry Scene, which is my loaded fry business, and I'm also the host of a podcast called Crockpot Promises.
Okay, you said the Fry Scene. What is that exactly?
The Fry Scene is my business that I started back in March, almost coming up on a year already. Um, And basically, what I sell is loaded fries, the best loaded fries that you've ever had. And our whole journey from March till now has been great. And we've changed and we've grown a lot in the process of making our fries. So now we make our fries from scratch. We fry them in coconut oil. So it's as healthy as it can be. The only thing that might be better, like maybe some beef tallow or some. I want to try that one day. We make
Okay.
our sauces from scratch. And pretty soon, I want to start making my own meat marinade. That way, we can really control the flavor profile. So every single part of our loaded fry bowl is to perfection.
Right. So it sounds like you have a lot of cool ideas in the works. But honestly, what makes yours different from any other fry place that sells potatoes? Because the making potato fries has been around since like the 1700s. So like, why the fry scene?
That's a really good question. I think that what makes mine special is the flavors that we have are very unique. You're not going to come to the fry scene expecting to get a bowl that you could get anywhere else. You're not going to come to the fry scene to get some dang animal style fries or some chili fries or some basic surface level asada fries. I do sell asada fries, but what tops us off is again the process in which we cook the potato and also the sauces. The sausage, the sauces make everything top tier because these are not sauces that you could get anywhere else. They're my own specific recipe. The big two, chimichurri. Chimichurri is traditionally an Argentinian sauce with an olive oil base. I take the traditional recipe, then add my own twists and kicks to it to make it just perfect. And then the second one that pairs really well with the chimichurri is our creamy jalapeno. And both of those together with our fresh homemade guac is just, there's nothing like it. Truly nothing like it.
And that sounds like you have been doing your research, not just on the flavor of fries, but the way of cooking fries.
Mm.
Now that leads up to my next question. What's the name of these fries? Is it just like I will have the number one, the number three? Like, what's the character?
Yes, so the fry scene is called the fry scene because we are a movie themed loaded fry business. I love movies, I love shows, I love media and production and all that type of stuff, and I love food. So I combine my two loves into one business. And the fry scene, we have our preset options. So it's the Fry Father, which is uh, my bowl basically the best. It has all of the meats on it, the my chimichurri, creamy jalapeno, grilled onions, guac, and then traditionally served with tater tots. Although I will say, quick side note, I haven't been able to make my own tater tots yet. So until I learn how to make my own tater tots, I'm just using regular fries for now that I can make myself. We have the Fry Father, Napoleon Frynamite, Freaky Friday, Fries in Black, and Passion of the Fries.
Passion of the fries. Passion of the fries. That's
Yes. So
so
they're
very
all
very
they're all fry movie parodies.
so all references. Okay, I get it. I get it. So we're gonna step away. We're gonna step away. We're gonna come back to it. But I
Okay.
wanted to know, how has this business impacted your life? Is this like just your own independent business? Are you sharing with anybody, any other contributors? How are you gonna take it a step further?
Yeah, that's a lot of really good questions. So when I had the idea to start it, um, I was praying and asking God, like, should I go into it by myself? Should I go into it with my brother, with my friend? Like, what should I do? And it eventually just led to me doing it by myself. And when I say by myself, I mean it's just me and God out here. I have a team that obviously helps me cook everything, best team ever. But as far as investors, it's just me. And one thing that I actually felt really convicted on, and I've only shared this with a couple people, is that the fry scene um, is going to have zero debt. And we have zero debt. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't owe anything on the credit cards. Like, we are completely zero debt. Everything that I have, I own outright.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, people
Yes.
could say that.
Yeah. And then how to take it a step further would just be to let it grow naturally on its own by keep doing more pop-ups, keep just promoting and stuff like that. I think that that's probably the best way to let it grow without taking on these heavy loans. I really think that we sacrifice too much for convenience, and because people always ask me like, oh, why don't you just get a loan? You could have your food trailer already. You could have a food truck and all that type of stuff. It's like, I could, and then I'd also be in a lot of debt.
Right.
Right now, I'm in zero debt. I don't like. I'm I'm chilling, big chilling. Still working hard. Still doing everything that I have to do, and it's growing at a very good pace.
Good pace. Good pace. And when you say convenience, are you referring to how we live, I guess, every day as human beings, or do you mean how we get our food? Like, is it?
Both, both. I think when I say that we sacrifice a lot for convenience, that applies to so many different aspects of our lives. It's not just it is with food, because fast food is obviously one of the biggest things ever, but you sacrifice health for convenience in that fast food. I think that in reference to my business, I sacrifice being in debt and having the money now versus no debt and growing what others would count as slower. Because I know people that they got their whole food trailer, which is like anywhere between $50,000 to $80,000 or sometimes more, within their first year. I don't think that's going to be me. I think I'm going to stay with my canopy setup for a little while. Not because I don't want a food trailer. I definitely want it, but I'm okay with waiting. And when I get my food trailer, I want to buy it outright. Again, no debt.
Yes, as they say, patience is key.
Yes.
So we talked about how this impacted your life. Let's talk about how it impacted others. Would
Okay.
you like to expand on that?
Yeah. So the fry scene is the only business in Kern County that operates as a pay what you can model, which means however much you're able to pay for your food is how much it costs. And that is probably one of the craziest things I've ever done in my entire life, but it's also totally worth it. And we've been able to help feed a lot of families, especially big families. I remember one of our first pop ups out on the street, because we started in my backyard, but one of the first ones that we started like out on the street, a family of 12 came, and I think they got like eight bowls or something like that, and it only cost them $60. So we were able to feed the majority of them for $60. I think the other kids wanted to go eat something else. Uh, but yeah, so we've been able to help families like that. I remember one college student came and all he had was $20. So he used that $20 to get him and his two roommates a bowl, and just stuff like that. So it's been really cool. Um, I think if the goal was to get rich, um, the business wouldn't really mean as much.
Mm-hmm.
I do have goals with it. I would like this business to grow to be something to not only sustain myself, but to sustain my future family. Um, but I also believe in serving our community at the same time.
Right.
Again, so I think that God will bless it. I really have faith that He will take care of us, that He will provide, and we could keep blessing people while also growing the business.
Dang. So it's not just an idea; it's more like a belief you
Hmm.
have behind it.
Yeah. Can I talk about one more thing,
Of
actually?
course, go for it.
Back in May, we did an event, and that was probably the coolest. I can't wait to do another one. So we invited 20 to 25 families to come out and eat for completely free. So we gave them all food, all their own bowl and stuff, and then I also partnered with my friends, and he has like a Nerf gun battle business. So he set up all the inflatable barriers and brought all the Nerf guns, and we were running. It was crazy.
So I had a mini carnival out there.
Yeah, kind of like a mini carnival. So we had parents against kids and stuff like that. And I had just bought myself one of the Nerf Pro guns, so I was just sniping people from far away.
Where am I?
Literally. Well, they had eye protection, of course. But yeah, I did it. Actually, I hit the ref in the eye. He wasn't wearing eye protection. Dude, from far too. It was maybe like 20 yards away. It was pretty good, which is far for a Nerf gun.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, and this is all Bakersfield based. Are you
Yeah.
planning to go do any outreach, or are you just strictly until you get your business settled, and then you plan to travel?
Another very good question. So I have so many ideas, and I kind of just went with growing the business and how it is. You kind of just have to. It's not go with the flow, but it is kind of like, all right, let's see what comes up. If this opportunity comes up, let's go this direction. If this opportunity comes up, let's go that direction. Right now is just been in Bakersfield, but I think it'd be really cool to like post up at the beach or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be fun. I also have a really, really long-term idea that I want to do probably within 5 years-ish maybe. And I call it the Fryscene across America. And I'll give you a brief summary. Basically, buy my food truck, buy an RV, take my crew, and just go to all the 48 touching states over the span of a year. 1 state a week, 4 states a month, and just pop up in each state in some of the cities. But I'd also really want to change the menu to fit like their culture and their food that they have. So like do like some type of Cajun seafood boiled fries. I think that'd be fire. Some
Oh yeah.
big barbecue type of fries. Stuff like that.
What would you say are the risks and the rewards behind it? And I'm asking that because if somebody wanted to start their business, them watching you, what would you at least tell them and to be upfront about to knowledge?
My biggest security in starting my own business is that I truly believe this is something that God called me to do. If it wasn't, and if I didn't have that security, I think it would be so easy for me to just quit and give up. And I'll be honest, I did a few pop-ups. I've done 3 pop-ups that just haven't been successful. One of the 3, I at least broke even. The other 2, I did go negative. And I was scared. I'll be honest. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I kind of like, I need this to survive. It's not just extra money. I've been in education for the last 5 years, and this year I switched my position, which is technically a demotion, a voluntary demotion. So I'd get paid less, but I did that way I could do the Fryscene more. So I took that risk, and it didn't work out twice. However, I still have faith. I still believe doing another pop-up in 5 days. And I would say if you're trying to start your own business, like understand there are going to be risks. There are going to be some L's that you just have to take. There are going to be a lot of scary moments, but for me, the thing that keeps me going is my faith. My faith in God, my trust that when the scripture says that he will provide for us, that he actually means it. And I've seen him come through. I've seen him provide, and I'm going to just keep going. And the greatest reward, I would say, on the other side of the risk is 1, successful business. 2, a business that the community really loves and supports. I've gotten so much love and support on social media because people like the whole pay what you can idea. And also reward is I don't know. I feel like more things are in my control. It's not just clock in, clock out. It's like, no, put in this work and
You're your
then
own boss type
yeah,
thing.
you're your own boss. So that's really cool. I think serving the community is cool. Food specifically is there's always going to be money and a need for food. That is an industry that'll really never die out. I think because everybody needs to eat. Everybody does. So there's a lot of money to be made. Um, and yeah, I think just it opens the door to just serve people, which is cool.
How would you describe yourself as a person?
I'm the Fry Father.
The fry father.
Yeah, so the Fry Father, well, that's not what you meant, but I'll just say real quick. The Fry Father is just a little character that I made up, and I made a couple little cinematic clips. We call them short films for Instagram and stuff. But anyways, my character, like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Your character as a person. So if somebody was going to one of your pop ups, what would they expect? Would they expect someone who's exactly how they are on camera, or would they expect
Something
someone
different.
huh?
Something different.
Something different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't like switching up. That takes too much work. I'm just the same. The me that you get here at my house is the same that you'll get at church, same that you get at work. It's the same that you get at the fry scene. I don't like that whole, code switching type of thing. It's just I'm just me. And I'm proud of it because I've done a lot of work with God to build character. Not perfect by any means, but I can definitely confidently say that I try.
What is the fry father? What does that mean?
Yeah, so the Fry Father is inspired by the Godfather movies, obviously, which is also low key inspired by Mr. Big in Zootopia. Uh, I just think that they're funny characters. Um, and I came up with that uh, just as a fun, creative way to promote the business. Because again, I like movies, I like media, I like making movies. I've made like, well, I can't even call them movies. I made like these little short films for fun, like nothing crazy, nothing professional. Shot it all on my iPhone and stuff. Um, and I like the idea of storytelling. I love to tell stories. Actually, I do this thing at work with the kindergartners where we're at lunch and I'm opening their milks and stuff, and they ask me like, "Can you tell me a story?" And I just be making stuff up on the spot. And I think it's fun. So I came up with the Fry Father to promote my business in a creative way that it is just fun, and it's another thing that sets my business apart. I think going back to one of your previous questions, there are so many different aspects of my business that set it apart. It's the movie themed. It's the fries from scratch and in coconut oil. It's the sauces from scratch. It's all of the things, and pay what you can and all that type of stuff. So I think having multiple areas to set your business apart will like really like go from good to great to like whatever this is, you know. hmm I
So
personally think that business should be passion projects. Do something that you really like, that you're passionate about, and that doesn't mean that you'll have that same passion and motivation all the time, because I sure don't. Definitely don't when I have to clean all the dang dishes, But then it's it's like, you know what? When I said yes to this, I said yes to everything that comes with it. It's not just yes to making a lot of money or yes to making the best food. It's yes to all the prep work, unloading and loading up the trailer, setting up everything, cleaning all the dishes, storing everything. Like, you say yes to all of it. And if you're doing something that you're not passionate about, then it's like, well, what's the reason to do all this stuff that you don't want to do? My reason for doing all the stuff that I don't want to do is it helps me in the long run with the things that I actually do love to do.
So speaking of the long run, how far do you want to take this? I mean, I know everybody has a dream. They want to be this big brand and go overseas and type of stuff. But like, for your direction, how do you want to take this? Do you have any clear sight goals?
Um, I have ideas. I've had I've thought obviously about franchising. My only thing is that I don't want the quality of my food to go down, and that's the biggest thing for me, because I want to sell people not just, I don't want to just sell people like food. The way that I see it, I'm selling them an art piece, I'm selling them an experience, I'm selling them a whole, like, just like everything in a bowl. You know, it's not just, oh yeah, here's some fries that I threw some masala on. It's like, no, like I care about every part of the process. And so if I'm able to figure out a way to pour in that much quality into multiple branches, I think that's what I would do. Another idea that I really, 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 really want to do is open up my own movie theater for the fry scene. And obviously, we sell, you know, our food there.
Right.
But how I want the movie theater set up is when you walk in, there's a big auditorium, sunken down auditorium in the middle for live performances. And then up on the sides is where you have your standard movie theater rooms, so to watch your, you know, your regular films. But I want a designated space for live performances and stuff like that.
Take us through the moment that you decided, yeah, this is what I want to do for sure. Like the moment you said yes.
Mm-hmm. So a little over a year ago, I was praying and I was asking God, what do you want me to do? Because I've been working in education, but the position that I have is not a career position. It's just a job that you have for now until you move on to the next thing. And I had been there. That was my fourth year last year. So I was like, all right, God, what comes next? What am I building towards? And he told me to start a business. And I was thinking about what type of business should I start? Should I go into sales? Should I go into food? Should I go into, I don't know, something creative? Like, I don't know. Like the ideas that I had were, I have a bunch of ideas. And eventually I settled on food. And at first I was actually going to make tortas with chimichurri. And then I saw the Bakersfield market. I was like, bro, we have so much Mexican food. It's insane. I don't think that we need more. So then I kept thinking and praying. And then God reminded me of a dream that I had when I was in fourth grade. And that dream was to have my own loaded fry business. Because I had loaded fries for the first time in San Diego at Tacos El Gordo was what it was called. I think it's still there. I hope it's still there. And I remember trying some masala fries for the first time and fell in love with them. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I love tater tots. I love waffle fries. I love, you know, just different types of fries. I was like, whoa, why don't we just load these things up like how the pizza places do it, and Chipotle, like Pizza Rev and Blaze, how you could put all your toppings and stuff like that. I wanted the same thing, but for fries. And so then I was like, okay, I have my base idea, prayed about a name and a theme, because loaded fries is great. There's only one other person in Kern County that specializes in loaded fries. But how do I make my business stand out from his?
Right.
Boom, that's where the movie theme came in. Now I have my movie theme loaded fry business. But that's kind of how I started it. And I was just like, this is just what I need to do in order to build for my future, because where I'm at now is only good for now. It's not good for the long run.
Right. That makes sense. So you just told us about the moment how it all started. Now tell us about the moment how it almost didn't start. The moment that almost discouraged you from even taking the steps to start. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Finances. I'll be straight up. It for me, I was like, how am I supposed to get into this when I don't make that much? Like how do I start? How do I just start buying all of these things? Some of this equipment costs thousands of dollars for one piece of equipment. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just literally build it from the ground up. I'm going to start in my backyard, and I'm just going to start with what I have and then build up from there. And luckily, the biggest thing was my mom bought me a Blackstone griddle for Christmas. And so I started learning how to cook. I never even cooked on a griddle before starting this business. I never fried anything either. And so I've cooked. I've been cooking for a long time. But this style of cooking I had never done. So learning how to do it in general, but then also learning how to master it were a lot of challenges that I had of finding a location. One of my moments where I almost didn't start it was I had like a practice night for my Bible study, and I fed 8 people, and my goal was for my first pop up to feed 20 people. And serving 8 people was a lot because not only did I have to learn everything myself, but then I also had to find a team and train a team. And it's really hard to find people that are willing to come alongside you, knowing that this is a startup business and it might not be profitable.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have some amazing friends and family that have helped me. Um, yeah, and that were willing to help me and stuff like that. But that day that I made it for the 8 people, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work because while I'm cooking for them, I'm also trying to teach the boys how to do certain things.
Right.
Um,
But after that feeling, after that day, what was
yeah,
that feeling like?
it was really cool. Sitting down with everyone and eating together felt nice. And then that 20-person pop up turned into a 50-person pop up.
And it kept growing. Yeah.
And then after that, the second pop up was like, I think like 70 to 80 people. And that scared me a lot because all of these people are in my backyard. So we had a line going all the way out of to around the side of the house and stuff, and we were learning how to take orders and then call out like the ticket number, and then that wasn't working and it was just taking too long. So then we went to a Chipotle style where you build your bowl like right in front of them, type of thing. And it's just, I think honestly, what's hard is thinking that one thing has to be a certain way, and once it's that way, there's no flexibility. I think when you're starting out and when you're kind of like controlling the reins and stuff like that, let it be flexible, and then figure out what needs fine tuning to make it the most efficient that it can be. Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Because like I used to think like, oh yeah, the griddle has to be here, the fryer has to be here, the warmers need to be here, sauces here, register here, and it needs to be like this. That way it all flows. But then when you actually practically do it, it doesn't flow. So it's like, okay, well, let's just change this around, change that around, start this sooner, start that sooner, just things like that. Yeah. So learning to be flexible and kind of you prepare as much as you possibly can. And then on the flip side of that, be ready for all of the uncontrollable things that'll come up. And I hate just saying like go with the flow because that sounds like you're unprepared, but it's prepare so much that when the unexpected happens, you could deal with it.
So, speaking of preparation, what are some mistakes that you didn't prepare for that turned out to be a success in the end? Are there any like that?
Mistakes that I didn't prepare for that turned out to be a success?
No, yes, exactly. So like you made a mistake and it turned out like, oh, that actually worked, and it wasn't part of your preparation phase.
Mistakes that turned into a success.
Or you thought it was a mistake at first. Are there any like that?
Oh, I would say how I made my sauces. I had never made my own sauces before. Never. And that night that I had my first night like cooking for the Bible study, the 8 people group, I bought store-bought sauces for all of it. Like all of them were store-bought. My brother was so mad at me that he just shows up at my house with a bunch of stuff. He's like, I'm gonna teach you how to make sauces. I was like, okay, bro.
Big brother had to step
in. Yeah, literally. I didn't ask him to. He literally just came to my house. He's like, you cannot be putting store-bought sauces on your fries. That is unacceptable. And he taught me how to make sauces. So then I took the base knowledge of what he taught me and then made it my own. And honestly, for some of the sauces, like I was just throwing stuff in there, I think this will be good. I think this flavor will match that flavor. I think this will match that. I'm gonna take this thing out. of the sauce and kind of just experimenting that way to really fine tune what works for the sauces and what doesn't, and what matches the flavor profile of a whole completed bowl. Because that was another mistake that I made, was like, okay, I found this seasoning that tasted amazing. Put it on the fries, ate the fry by itself, and it tasted amazing. But then when I put the meat on it, put the sauces on it, put the cheese on it, the flavor profile of that seasoning completely collided and clashed with everything else. And I learned that the flavor profile that I'm going for is a lighter, more bright, more fresh, and easy on your palate. It's not like something like just that's just gonna get you. It's not nothing heavy. It's not nothing smoky, and like a barbecue type of like flavor profile. It's more of like just freshness. Does that make sense?
No, that makes complete sense.
So that was something that I learned too.
So it was you didn't come on this journey by yourself, basically.
No. As far as investing, yes. Other than my mom buying me that griddle, that first griddle. And well, actually, I take that back. So I was given a few gifts like that. I remember Anthony Herrera, the owner of It Was Good, that food truck. He showed up to my one of my backyard pop-ups with a brand new fry warmer. I was like, what the heck? I didn't even knew these existed. So he showed up with that. I loved it so much, and I still use that thing to this day. Bought a second one, and yeah, that was amazing. My older sister Justice, has helped me a lot, and then yeah, my brother with the sauces, and just people being kind and generous.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a message you would give to your older self?
To my older self?
Older self, yes.
Yes. How far are you willing to go to accomplish the will of God? How much work are you willing to put in? Work that you might not get paid for, but eventually it'll work itself out. How far are you willing to go to accomplish your dreams? How far are you willing to go to provide for your family, to take care of the people that are close to you, but also just people in the community as well, that even if we don't know them? How far are you willing to go to serve people, to love people? I think those are some of my biggest priorities. And if this is young Eli talking to old Eli, I think what I would tell him is don't give up, don't lose sight, and yeah, just keep working. I have visions of what I want the fry scene to be in the future. I have goals that I want to meet. I have things that I want to add to the menu. I have things that I want to bring on eventually and add, and just keep building. I think people forget that or just don't know that, and so I love it when you guys come with suggestions and things like that. But just know I definitely have a plan, definitely have a goal. And I definitely have things that I want to build towards. I'm not just out here like, again, going with the flow type of thing. Another thing I would say is that this is a question that I do get asked quite a bit. How do I donate? The fry scene is a for-profit business. So technically we cannot accept donations, and I don't accept donations. If you want to give to me personally, that's a different subject, and I'll put it and I'll allocate it towards the fry scene and stuff like that. But as far as the fry scene itself taking donations, we don't. I do appreciate and love your generosity, and I would really love to serve you guys some food, and give my gratitude that way.
Anything else you would like to say? Anything we didn't really talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for watching, and what you're seeing right now is the ambition of a young man, and the journey of a young man growing and building myself into something that God is proud of, I'm proud of, and my future family will be proud of. And I'm on my journey again, not perfect. The fry scene isn't everything that I want it to be yet, but we are growing and we're going. And I appreciate people like just being willing, because from our first backyard pop up till now, our menu's way different. The quality of our food is way different, a lot better now. And so I appreciate the people that loved it when it was in the backyard, and that love it now, and have just been down. I have so many families that come like consistently, and those are my regulars. At this point, I need to start memorizing their orders. That's how much they come and support me, and reposting my videos on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, like these things that people don't have to do, but they do them anyways. I love it and I appreciate it, and honestly, that has been a big motivation for me to keep going. Because there's been multiple times like, God, I don't want to do this. I am tired. I feel like I barely started, but I'm tired, and I feel like I was like, Eli, shut up, have some follow through, keep going, keep working, keep trying. And there are people that really like the food, and then there are people that really like what I'm doing, the pay what you can campaign, and just all of that like stuff. They really appreciate it and enjoy it, and so for these people, I want to keep going.
Of course.